covering the community, the people, events, and issues of Georgia, Carolina. This is the Means Report. Now, from the studios of WJBF News Channel 6 in Television Park in downtown Augusta, here's Brad Means.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Means Report. You know, we've led off our past few broadcasts by wishing you a happy Sunday, as we always do, and by telling you that we hope you're sitting in an air-conditioned facility. But at this point, it would be amazing if your air conditioner hasn't broken. Just getting a real workout during this insane heat wave we've been having. And I hope that you all are surviving it. Despite the wicked weather that we've been enduring, a lot has been going on in the city of Augusta. And you've always been able to count on the Means Report to keep you posted on the happenings in the Garden City and the surrounding areas. Commissioners aren't afraid to come on here. Department heads have been known to show up a time or two, but we always start at the top with Augusta's Mayor Deke Copenhaver. He gives us the pulse of the city and tells us what to expect in the weeks and months ahead. And we're glad he's back with us today. Mayor Deke Copenhaver, thank you as always for your time. We appreciate it.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Well, and you do stay busy. I know that we tape a lot of times, as we're doing now, before events happen, but the big news, one of the big news items this week is the commission retreat set for Wednesday. So just, I guess, in general, tell us what y'all's goals are there.
Well, you know, Brad, I think a big part of it's to return to the big picture, think about the long-term goals of the city. Starting the year, we got into a little bit of a loggerhead situation. I believe we're starting to work our way through that, but we just need to come together as one unit, one team, set the long-term goals for the city.
Was there some divisiveness or some sort of problem, if you will, that prompted this retreat, or was it something you all were just going to do all along?
You know, it's interesting, Brad, from my perspective, we were supposed to have a work session to start the year, and we had the ice storms and we had holidays and everything. So I think that helped for the lines of communication to break down a little bit. I am somebody who always focuses on communication. We've since had the Georgia Municipal Association annual meeting in Savannah where commissioners were able to get together. So we're all working on bringing back up those lines of communication, and this should help with that.
Well, when you go to these meetings and you meet with fellow mayors, do you hear about some of the same issues that you face here in Augusta?
You do, absolutely. And it's funny, sometimes I think we think that we're the only place that at times can have contentious politics. When you look around at what's going on in Macon, Savannah, other cities around the state, it happens at the local level. But I think one of the things is, to me, I'm a local government guy. We're the most accountable. You see us at the grocery stores, you see me at the Y pretty much every morning. So it's not like we can hide, and plus we've got the local media covering our every action as well.
Well, and it's good because a lot of times people will ask me about an item in the city and I'll say, I'll ask the mayor, and that's why I'm grateful for your visits here. And one of the biggest topics that we've been hearing about is the baseball stadium for months and months, really. But during your last visit, we talked about the fact that Fred Russell was going to get clearance, the city administrator, to talk to the Ripken baseball people about a stadium and just some initial talks. Has that happened, and where do we stand?
That has. The Ripken organization has met with some of our finance people and with Fred. Now they'll be moving on to meet with Jim Jacoby, the developer who would be a partner in any development they would do here. So it's a process. It's a long way from over. Once again, they're not just looking at the riverfront site, they're looking at other sites throughout the community. So this is something that, but it was the first step. And the reality of the situation is it's a business decision for them. They can't grow their business at their current location. I love the stadium that's there now, as well as I know many people locally do, but they have to look at locations where they can grow their business, and that's the way business is.
You know, I heard the Green Jackets manager say that no matter what happens stadium-wise, the team wasn't going anywhere. Is that the sense that you get, that if the stadium thing fell through, the Green Jackets would still stay here, wouldn't they?
You know, Brad, I would hope so, and I can't speak for the Green Jackets, but it is, once again, when you look at this type of situation, if we did lose the Green Jackets, then the first thing that would happen if we were trying to bring in a new team is they would ask for a new stadium.
Right.
At this point, we have, you know, partners and investors in the Ripken organization and the Jacoby organization. But if it ever did happen, which God forbid, the Green Jackets left and we tried to bring in a new team, then it's all on us.
Recently, we heard Augusta Commissioner Bill Lockett say that the city needs to find more money to tear down abandoned houses. The city allocates $100,000 a year for that purpose. Commissioner Lockett says it's not enough. Your thoughts on the city's effort to clean up those eyesores?
Well, Brad, I'll tell you, we're in a deficit situation, which makes it difficult. We are doing a very good job, particularly with our Laney Walker Bethlehem redevelopment efforts of going in and transforming a neighborhood. If we're able to find the funding, I am all for it. You know, are there federal grants available? I'd be willing to look into that, but it's just everything comes back to, at this point during this difficult economy, you know, how are we going to pay for it?
Well, you're right, though. You drive around town and you see the abandoned houses like the ones we're showing on TV now, but you also can visit Laney Walker and can visit Bethlehem and can visit parts of Harrisburg and see where revitalization is taking place and the eyesores are being removed.
There are lots of examples of that, but, you know, there's a process with these houses. The city doesn't own them. We've got to condemn them or take them into the land bank, and so it's not as simple as saying, hey, go bulldoze that house.
Mayor, a lot of people, and this show will be repeated because every time the mayor comes, we do like to run the show again, make sure everybody gets updated on events going on. But during the initial airing of this show, the British Open golf tournament is underway, and the style of play that golfers use in the British Open has often been compared to the style of play necessary to succeed at the Patch. The Patch is almost a real links style golf course where you just sort of hit the ball and hope that it rolls to its destination. Are we going to have our beloved municipal golf course much longer? We know that a couple of entities out there want it. Where does the Patch stand?
Well, Brad, we have had ongoing discussions. Obviously, this situation has not been resolved yet. But one thing I would say, we have one company that's looking to get a management agreement in place, one that's looking to lease the facility. And to my mind, either of those two options would be better than to do what we're doing right now, which is just to continue to do the same thing. I think we can operate the facility. I believe our community needs public golf. Let me just say that loud and clear. And we don't need to price your average player out of the market, but I do believe that we can operate it more efficiently and effectively. We privatize transit, you know, that'll start next month. So these are things that governments all over the nation are having to look at, and we're no different than cities throughout the nation.
In the deal, one company wants the city to pay them and the other would pay the city, right? So
exactly.
Isn't the latter better?
Well, on paper, yes. You would think so, but there are, once again, you know, there's profit built into it over time. If we pay them the management fee, you know, no deal has been laid out on the table, a lease agreement at this point. But we've got to look at all options, and I hope in the end the commission will do what's best for the citizens and the taxpayers of this city, and I'm sure they will.
We are seeing the first of the furlough days that city workers are being required to take. How is that going as far as the overall operation of Augusta government? You
know, Brad, it's difficult. It's always hard for, you know, to introduce furlough days. Fortunately, we have not had major layoffs like other cities. You do, and I can understand it. You hear grumblings from employees, but generally last week, people that I spoke to were happy to still have a job. You know, I took the pay cut and took the furlough days as well. I think you lead by example, but these are difficult economic times, and we do have to ask our employees to do things a little differently. But overall, the feedback I've gotten is people understand that this is just something that we've had to do.
I was talking to some ladies at the tax office the other day getting my tag renewed, and we got hit with 15 furlough days by the parent company that owns Channel 6 not too long ago. And so they're going through 5. You're feeling it, Mayor. People are feeling it, and it's good though to hear that the spirits are still pretty high at the city level as those workers trudge through.
Well, and Brad, you know, it was just several weeks ago that the Brookings Institute Metro Monitor ranked us as one of the strongest metro economies in the nation for the 8th straight quarter. Are we getting impacted by the recession? Yes. Have we made it through better than most cities? Yes, I would say that we have, and I think local citizens get that. And so, you know, whether it's in the private sector or the public sector, you just have to look at cost savings.
All right, let's talk about something that's recession proof, like the Kroc Foundation and the Kroc family and the money that they were able to help help us all raise to build this outstanding facility on Broad Street. The Kroc Center on the verge of opening now. You have to just be blown away by what you see there.
Well, this has been the dedication weekend. You know, $90 million investment in Harrisburg is great for the city. I was able to tour the facility last week. To say it's state of the art would be an understatement, but what it's going to do for a lot of things, for the neighborhood of Harrisburg, what we've seen when Kroc Centers have gone in other neighborhoods, there's a halo effect. You draw in more investment around the facility. Also for public health, you know, for kids and families to have access to that facility, plus the performing arts theater in there is just amazing. But to have that arts presence within that area of the city overall, and it is a great thing for the city of Augusta. Job training, you know, it's just, you can't say enough about that facility.
So much for slowing down during the summer. It seems like we've picked up, if anything.
Well, I think we have. Last week we broke ground on Costco. You know, there's a lot going on, and we're extremely blessed. And that's part of my job, is just to try to be a catalyst to continue to move things forward, to work with people, you know, as a team. And I think I would propose to anybody out there, and I know from speaking to mayors in other cities, we've got a lot going on here and we've got a lot to be proud of.
I don't want you to go before you update us on the Costco development in its entirety. Have you heard at this early stage about other stores wanting to come in and be near that Costco?
I have heard a lot of rumors to this point, but I think in the next couple of months things will start really solidifying. The great thing about it though, Brad, is they're looking to open on November 15th. And you think, man, 200 people getting jobs locally right before the holidays, you know, that's one of the biggest parts of this story to me. And they pay above industry standard, and they offer good benefits packages. So that's going to mean a lot to local citizens going into the holidays, and I don't see how you could feel anything but good about that.
It's going to be fun to watch that thing come out of the ground very quickly. Mayor Copenhaver, again, even though it's summertime, I know that you're slammed, and I appreciate you being here.
Well, always a pleasure to be with you, and look forward to being back the next time.
Me too. Mayor Deke Copenhaver of Augusta. When we come back, another great thing in Augusta, and that is our library system. The director is going to be here to tell us about the options available to you at our libraries for free when the Means Report continues.